I want to talk about the playoffs, man.
Ooh,
College
talk
football
about it.
playoffs. Listen, bro. I ain't gonna hold you, bro. Like, first of all, I gotta release my anger again because I went on the show when we talked about that, man. I don't understand. All right, I don't understand. I just don't. I don't get it how we were like the hottest team past 7 weeks. We don't get a bid. 14, bro. But remember, I told y'all the week before. I said there's something inside of me that the committee is gonna mess us over, and they did. And they did. And what I'm saying, just going back, to the let me pull up the bracket a little bit. You know what I'm saying?
I'm-
It just it's like I think it sucked because we don't, as South Carolina fans, bro, like we don't know. We don't know. And I love how the season went this year, and I love how um but we just don't know. Like a lot of people are questioning, like, yo, like, do you really want to see SMU or Boise State in the playoffs? Like, do you really want to see
and
that?
look,
Indiana,
I, and,
maybe.
and I can answer the question. No, we don't want to. No, that's not what we want to
Right.
see. But here's what I'll say, and this is the only piece of mind I got after the whole playoff fiasco. Nobody else that was 9-3 deserved to get in that wasn't South Carolina, in my mind.
Right.
That was
Right.
my point. So if I and this is my thing, I said we can't get in, nobody gets in. I don't even want Batman there either. Because truthfully, I think once they got down to it, the committee had to tell us what did they value, and you at least got to value the fact that SMU ran the table, made their conference title game, and yes, they lost, but do you then penalize them for losing in a conference title game? I thought they were in a tough spot because of how they set up the ranks. SMU deserved a bid, and only because of how the committee set up the ranks. That's the only reason why they deserve a bid. If you would have asked me what I thought SMU would have had to win to get in, SMU would have had to do the absolute most to get in. Because to me, two ACC teams don't deserve to be in the playoffs. That was my line of thinking. I don't think Clemson can go beat Alabama today. I don't think Clemson can go beat Ole Miss today. They clearly couldn't beat us, so there that answered that. So that is what it is. So two ACC teams was my biggest gripe. Boise State being there, that's fine. Boise State being there is fine. They earned a Group of Five bid. It's completely fine. They don't deserve a bye week, but they do deserve a bid in the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
Um, that,
Does
that, that,
SMU do you feel SMU deserved that bye week before Boise?
if SMU would have won, yeah, I would have said SMU should have got it. I would have, just because you're playing a Power Four schedule, better competition week in and week out. That would be more deserving of a bye week than what Boise State did. Like I said,
Yeah.
I'm all for everybody making it. I'm not all for everybody having buys. I think the rank the best teams 1 through 12. Disregard conferences. Obviously, conference champions are going to get in, but disregard the conference champions in terms of seeding. That's my biggest issue. But we got Clemson versus Texas on December 21st. Initial thoughts on that game. What's your line of thinking there?
I'm going with Texas. I'll take Texas on that. I think, like you said, I don't see Clemson being, the team to pretty much like that's capable of beating a team like Texas. Texas is too powerful at quarterback. You know what I'm saying? And this is Quinn Edwards' last hoorah. So you already know he's going in with like vengeance, especially what happened the year before. So you know, just I'll take that with it. So I'm definitely gonna go with Texas on that.
I agree with you. I believe Clemson is. We stated earlier in the year when after they played Georgia. I said Clemson is still a very good team. They don't match up in the classes where Georgia is and where Texas is. Those elite teams. Clemson is not that anymore. We've seen that over the course of the year. It's been very apparent when they play good teams. They have a hard time handling teams that have a higher level of talent than they do. I got Texas winning that one as well. I got Texas handling it pretty well. Not necessarily a blowout, but I believe Texas will
Oh,
seize control early and win that one. Ohio State versus Tennessee. What are your thoughts on that one? Vegas has Ohio State by 7.
it's tough. Just seeing the game against Michigan. I don't know if that's gonna trail over. So they look lost out there against Michigan. But I just can't go against it. So I'm definitely going to take Ohio State by 7 as well. Tennessee is an elite team, but I don't see them coming out and beat, especially after that loss to Michigan. That's gonna like just build momentum for them. And then Ryan Day, bro, like a lot of people say he on the hot seat. So I mean, he losing to Tennessee, that might be a wrap for him. So uh,
Talk, hey, talk,
I mean, yeah,
I agree with you though. I mean, talk about it. Ryan Day to me would be on the hot seat after what you did against Michigan. That's inexcusable. You're not supposed to lose to Michigan, not this current state of Michigan. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
But Tennessee, I would love Tennessee if I felt better about the quarterback, Nico Iamaleava. I finally know how to say his name after a whole season.
mm,
He just hasn't shown me that he's going to make the necessary plays, that he can take control of the game. Because in a game like this against Ohio State group, you're going to have to be able, as an individual, you're going to have to be able to rise to the occasion. And if it's not there based off the plays that are being called, can you go make a play for your team? Unless he has a superhero moment in that game, I don't see them going toe to toe with Ohio State and getting that win. Give me Ohio State. Give me that roster and that level of talent that they have. SMU versus Penn State. SMU will be on the road to Beaver Stadium. Penn State is being picked by 8.5 by Vegas. What are we thinking there?
I take Penn State. I mean, Penn State at home. I mean, SMU. This is a great season for them, especially coming over to a new conference. A lot of people picked them dead last to win to win the division, and then they get into the college football playoffs. Hell of a season that they had. I just say Penn State. Penn State is just too much, especially at home. What I'm saying? That's gonna be an insane environment for a team like SMU to come in and try to dominate. But yeah, just give me Penn State.
I agree. I believe the Big Ten, the SEC, is going to really show everyone like what it's like at this level of college football. And that's what I think. I told Ace that last week. This is going to be a demolition derby for the Big Ten, the SEC. That's going to lead to a crash course that I feel like is going to meet in the national championship game. Give me Penn State. I think they handled that one pretty easily. Indiana versus Notre Dame. Big Ten versus obviously Notre Dame being an independent, but we look at Notre Dame as a pseudo Power Four team anyway. I'll go. And Vegas has Notre Dame by 7.5. I agree with Vegas. I got Notre Dame wiping the floor with Indiana. I don't believe I don't believe they're capable. Much like I feel about Clemson. I don't think they're ready for this level of college football. And they showed
Yeah.
me that when they played Ohio State and got waxed. You're very good. Kirk Signati deserves a lot of credit for what he's done in his 1 year at this program, flipping around, making them a college football playoff team in just his first season. Kudos. Not ready for this stage yet. I believe Notre Dame probably waxed the floor with
Yeah, I take same thing as well. I don't see Indiana coming in and just doing any type of damage. Though I see Notre Dame, especially again at home in a hostile environment for you. Great season that Indiana's had, but I really don't see them boys just coming out and just making any type of noise, man. It's yeah. And plus, hypothetically, you beat you. Let's say you do beat Notre Dame. You ain't beating Georgia. That. Yeah, you ain't doing that with that. You about to go ahead, pat that bag on to the crib. Ain't
bro.
no way you do it.
That's exactly the part. And this is why. And then we got 6 minutes left. We can get back to talking. We can get back to popping style real quick. And this is why I feel like a lot of us, fans of other teams, thought that we should be there because at least, hey, if we get past the first round, I'm gonna be honest. Nobody wanted to play South Carolina at the way they were playing right now, especially not in the SEC. Because, well, duh, if we got to go play Georgia, I have no fear because we're in the SEC anyway. We know the level of competition. We know what it takes to beat a team like this. I would have rather seen Miami get in. I hate because
All
at
right.
least then a Heisman candidate quarterback is at least able to take the field, and I believe he can go toe to toe with any defense in the
Mm-hmm.
nation. You know what I'm saying? I think overall, just think about the talent level, and then you talk about Ole Miss and Alabama, who both had beaten Georgia. I think that is what people will want to see more so because, like you said, whoever wins that game, I don't think you go beat Georgia after that.
Yeah.
Possibly Notre
Yeah.
Dame, but I don't believe Notre Dame. I don't believe Notre Dame has is the talent level to go beat Georgia. Still, like they're a good team though. But shout out
Yeah.
to them. But
Well,
nah,
unfortunately for us, if we would have gotten in, we would have at least been 11. We would have been 11 spots, so we would have had Penn State at Penn State.
and
So
I
I
wanted
mean,
that, and
that
I really wanted it. I really
we
did.
either would have had that in Texas.
But
Maybe Texas.
I'm gonna be so for real. I would have much rather let have Penn State than Texas. I kind of want no parts of Texas. Texas, I feel like it's still a leap and bound ahead of us, and I don't feel like we have the talent to go play Texas and go win. Can we compete? Yeah, but the bow was gonna break eventually, and they will handle us. Georgia's tough as well, even though I think I feel because it's a rivalry game in terms of proximity. I would have liked the chance to have played Georgia. You know what I'm saying? Especially in a year where we didn't play them in the regular season, and you still got to see us in the end. I would have loved the opportunity to go do the you
And
know
it's remote.
the
And it would have been remote. So that would have been cool too.
I would have liked that. I would have really liked it. Penn State though, I had no problem going to play Penn State. Had no problem. You want to know why I had no problem going to play Penn State? Because I don't know if Drew Allen really liked that.
Yeah.
I don't think he really liked it. And I seen you against Ohio State. That's the issue I got. That's the issue I got. That's the issue I got with Indiana too. Oh, I seen y'all against Ohio State. Whenever y'all have to see a real one, we when a Chrysler pulls up next to a Phantom, right?
Speaking, speaking of,
We always know, oh shit, this ain't the real thing.
yeah.
That's how I feel about it. And I feel very confident that Kyle Kennard and Dylan Stewart would have no problem introducing themselves to Drew Aller in the backfield. Now Abdul Carter would have been a problem, and that do I think we win that game? I think we would have had a chance of winning it on the road at Beaver Stadium at Penn State. And mainly because I had just went there a few weeks ago. I would have gone back. I
Mm-hmm.
would have gone back. Would have gone back for that one. But I like our chances still. Even with that being said, but like, yeah, I mean, the committee's got some work to do though. I think the committee definitely has some work to do. I believe something's gonna change though. I like best believe the SEC is not gonna sit idly by and only have 3 teams in a 12-team format when we've had 2 teams in a 14 format. So you best believe Greg Sankey is making some calls, working his voodoo magic to make sure that the SEC has at least 5 teams in the playoffs come next year. And realistically, man, I mean, what is your thought process when it comes down to this? Because I said what I said about the power conferences and the group of 5. What are your thoughts in terms of who deserves playoff bid?
You know what, man? I'm only gonna advocate for us because I really just feel like just the path and just the storyline from everything, not just from outside but within, that we had to endure as fans. That what a lot of people had to endure within that locker room or within that facility, and bro, they predict us to go 6-6. You know what I'm saying? 6-6. We had one of the toughest schedules in the conference, and pretty much people want to Shane out. But he proved his point and went 9 games, got a high bowl game at that, and he could have just gave him opportunity. Now I'm extremely proud of the way this season turned out. Me personally, I am. I just wish the committee would have just at least gave us a chance. That's just me. I really did, and that's not being biased or anything. It's just obvious. It's an obvious thing. Um, of course, people are gonna have issues that Bama didn't get in. Hell, Bama had issues that they didn't get in. Bama, I feel like we're now seeing the post-spoil era of Bama football, Bama fan base, Bama in general. We're seeing that. Oh, we didn't get in, so we have to like adjust how we schedule, so we won't. We added out this episode like that. Like people said, you didn't get in because of your schedule. You didn't get in because you had terrible losses.
I,
Your
I mean,
losses were
hands
bad.
down, the worst losses of all the 3 teams of us, Ole
Right.
Miss and Alabama. Bama had the worst loss. You lost to Vandy. No excuse for that. I don't care what Vandy's doing. I don't care how good Vandy's supposed to be. You don't lose to Vandy. Losing to Oklahoma by 3 touchdowns. When this team we didn't know this team. We didn't know whether they had a quarterback. You lost to them by 3 scores.
Yeah.
I mean, no, absolutely not. I can't vouch for that.
I can
Absolutely not. Like
I
our worst loss. by how the schedules worked out and how the rankings worked out was LSU.
Yeah,
That was our worst loss. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it was even, to me, Alabama didn't even deserve to be ahead of South Carolina and Ole Miss both. They should have been behind, in my mind. You know, it's just
yeah.
me.
Even when you look at Ole Miss, like I think they could have gotten in. I think their worst loss is probably Kentucky. Kentucky's probably their worst. They lost
Oh,
by three.
Kentucky's pretty bad. To me,
Kentucky's pretty bad. Yeah,
here's the thing. Ole Miss and Bama had worse losses than South Carolina. South Carolina's losses came to LSU,
yeah,
Alabama, and Ole Miss, of course. But these are all ranked teams. These are all teams, and two of those losses came by 5 points combined.
yeah,
So it is what it is. All in all, the committee's got a tough job,
yeah,
and they got to determine what is it they value moving forward. And like I told Ace, and I'll say it again, they need to come out at the beginning of the season and tell us what the criteria is going to be for that committee of that season. Don't wait till we get halfway through the year and we start having to play guess who and as to what matters when you're putting the rankings together. Tell us at the beginning of the year, and then we'll go from there. And then at least everybody can be at peace knowing what it is and what it ain't. So that being said,